Hello and welcome to another episode of the Birdbox podcast. Happy Easter to everybody as we're shooting this on Easter Sunday. Sadly we got no Easter eggs in the house at all, so we failed really badly on that one. I'm John, otherwise known as Mr. B's Yarn.
I'm Clare, I'm also known as Clare and Beyond Ravelry, and I'm Bird Street UK on Instagram.
And I'm Beki, and I'm Bexy Norms on Instagram.
So this podcast is going to take us back over the month of March. Tell you a bit about some of the things we've been up to, because it's been a really busy month, very eventful for us.
It's been a long month.
It has. It's been about nearly 6 weeks actually since our last podcast, so sorry about that. But we've been on holiday as well. We'll tell you a bit about what we've been up to during March, and you're going to talk about works in progress.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of finished objects. Phew.
Yeah.
And we've got one or two projects as well from Bird Street UK that we want to tell you about, something that we're really excited about a new idea. So we'll tell you about that towards the end of the podcast, okay?
Cool.
So what have you been up to?
Well, we had some snow, didn't we? We had a couple of snow days. We managed to get...
Snow.
I got a day and a half off of work with snow.
Nice.
Yeah, same
Mr.
for
B
me.
managed a day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got lots of knitting time in.
Yeah.
You got the
Well, I
phone
was
call
working,
that,
actually,
you
but-
got the phone call that made all teachers' blood run cold, didn't you?
Which was an Ofsted inspection during the month of March. Yeah, it was. I'll tell you a bit more about that later on in the podcast.
Yeah, and our son had a big interview for his dream job. And
he got the
he
job!
got
Hooray!
Which
So
means
well done to
he's,
Dan.
moving to Cardiff in the next couple of weeks. So
That's your food bill.
That's our
It
food
is,
bill
food bill
half.
has changed, yeah.
Does that mean yarn budget goes up?
Yarn budget goes up.
Maybe.
John's like, no.
I'm not sure about that. But it's also the electricity bill goes down as well.
There you
Yeah.
go. Clothing
Less
budget goes up as well.
Xbox. No, that's not the idea. I think we need to save something actually. So,
Yeah, it's
carried
been it's very
And
eventful.
you had a holiday. Well, we all sort of had a
we
holiday.
did.
Yeah, last week we went down
We've
to
all been away on Dartmoor.
I went to join them for a couple of days,
Yeah.
which was lovely.
He clocked up 40 miles this Stella.
I did.
didn't you?
Did you?
Yeah, walked
Yeah.
a long way.
I did
just
30,000
me, my dog, and my
steps
camera.
in 2 days, which
Wow.
was
pretty good.
That's very cool.
That's very
cool.
good.
And we managed to have a little bit of a knitting meet-up while we were there,
We did
didn't
have
we?
a
Which was
meet-up.
really
It was
exciting.
really lovely, but we'll tell you about that in a bit. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So loads of stuff's been going on. We had a flat tire when we were there.
We did.
That was
Just-
exciting time.
That was exciting. Yeah.
Oh, we had World Book Day, which was fun.
we did.
Oh,
we might show you some of our
yeah.
photographs.
Yeah,
as
I
both
aged.
in education.
I aged rapidly.
I'm going to
one
make
day.
you insert some pictures.
All right, we'll do it.
I don't mind. They've been
We'll
all
do
over
it.
Instagram anyway.
Well, obviously we've got a lot to talk to you about, so I'm going to leave you to the two girls now to take you through some of the works in progress, and I'll be back a bit later for Mr. B's bit of the podcast.
Cool.
See you later.
So here we are.
Yeah. It feels really weird. I feel
It's
a bit
been
weird
ages
today.
since we podcasted,
Yeah.
hasn't it? And because it's been quite a long month. And
Yeah.
we podcasted before the end of
Yeah.
February.
And I have a cold and my head is full of stuff.
So, well,
So I'm a bit
any excuse for being a bit dizzy.
today. I'm a bit dizzy today.
So we've had lots of knitting time, haven't we?
We have,
Which has
but
been
I
really
feel
good.
like I've not been very productive, and I don't feel like I had a lot of mojo. I think I've just been a bit stressed about everything going on.
I've managed to get loads done.
Come on,
so-
now you get started then.
Well,
'cause-
you'll notice I'm wearing one.
Oh, it's so
And I told you in the last podcast
beautiful.
I would have this finished before you even saw it as a
And
whip.
with tassels. With tassels.
So this is my What the Fade.
Oh, it's absolutely
By Andrea
beautiful.
Murray.
Really stunning.
It's pretty big, but it's just so
That
lovely
bit
to
there.
wear.
Oh.
So it's got this gorgeous brioche section at the top, which fades.
Colour.
And I tell you what, to do this bit, the brioche was no trouble. What I did keep doing was I kept increasing in the wrong place and having to pick back. So I got very good at tinking back brioche, but that's fine.
surgery.
But when I got to these sections,
At the colour.
let me show this for a minute, where
Stunning.
you're fading brioche, you've got 4 yarns on the go. So I actually found that I needed to do that sitting at my desk because I would have just got in such a tangle. But it was fine, it was nice, and that bit's sort of, it doesn't really take that long, that bit, because it's not, the rows aren't very long in the brioche section. It's when you get to this bit when you're fading in the other colours, which I'm so pleased with the fade.
Beautiful.
Thank you to everyone who helped me pick out colours, because quite a few people did.
Because it really is quite stunning.
The fade has worked really nicely, but obviously by the time you get to the end,
it's
there's a lot of stitches, and then you do an I-cord bind off, which took me nearly 3 hours. But it's worth every stitch. I loved making it.
The I-cord bind off is stunning.
I just loved making it.
It's so worth doing.
Yeah, so really chuffed with that. So the yarns, if I just quickly go through the yarns. So they were all bought at Unravel. So the dark pink is Life in Plastic by Easy Knits. Then this pink with sort of crazy wild colours was Flamingo by Ching Fibres. Then the next one was this gorgeous turquoise, which I'm already using on something else, which is Troublemaker by Olan. Then the next one, it's hard to see the next two because they're very similar. The next one was Boudoir by West Green Loft Yarns. Then we've got Blue Skies and Blooms by Fine Fish Yarn. Alright, sorry about that, we had camera issues, managed to fill up a card already. It's just the outtakes of the introduction, wasn't it?
Oh, they were horrendous.
Especially with Daniel breaking a light. We'll go into that.
Daniel came in and we shouted at him and he knocked one of the lights over and smashed a light bulb. Great. And it shattered everywhere.
Yes. Anyway, I think I was up to the point where I was just saying that my 6th colour on here was just a drops Baby Merino, just to make up the last colour, and I just used colour 1, which is white. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with that.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
I've worn it a lot already.
I can't believe how quickly.
Best friend has already tried to steal it. It does look nice on her, but she's not having it because I love it too much.
Yeah, I've seen you in it a few times now.
Yeah, and it goes with everything. I'm really chuffed with it.
It is gorgeous.
So that was that one.
An accomplishment. I think you've got more than I have, so.
Okay, should I do another one?
I think you should.
I've got a pair of socks next. I did the Dewdrop Socks by Tracy Arnold of Nora George. And you'll see my new podcaster sock blockers. I had to get some.
She got some.
So the yarn is The Tiger Who Came to Tea, which
it.
Mr. B did especially for me because he knows it's one of my favourite books.
It's one of her obsessions.
So the pattern's absolutely lovely. It was really easy to do. I just did it as a tube and put in an afterthought heel, so halfway down I stopped doing the pattern on the back. Although on the second sock, I forgot on one of the rounds, and so that it has got a pattern row right away round under the foot, but never mind.
No, and that's the extra air holes. So you get
yeah,
feet,
it's fine. My best friend's actually claimed these because they're a tiny bit too small for me, and her feet
they
are
look
just
really
a bit
dinky.
smaller. But yeah, really chuffed with those. Lovely and soft.
I love how the yarn's knitted up.
Pretty. So that's those.
Very beautiful. I've got a pair of socks. She laughs at my sock blockers because they're a bit foul.
They're rude.
Well, you could pretend Mickey Mouse. But yeah. I did flamingo legs from Standard Dye Works. It's just the Oasis base, so 75/25 merino nylon. I did a heel flap and gusset because I like to do that.
You just like to say gusset.
I like to say gusset. Yes, I do. And so I do have two. I actually finished them. They seemed to take forever, but actually they probably didn't.
No, and it's the kind of thing you just pick up and put down.
Well, yeah.
You were knitting those at Unravel, weren't you?
And it's got a tiny sort of pooling down the side, which I think is quite.
Yeah, it's pretty. I love
they're
flamingo
really,
legs.
really nice. They came out lovely, and I'm excited.
I've got some flamingo legs at home. I must do something with them.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I've got some shorty socks next. I usually like to have a pair of shorty socks on the needles just for a bit of vanilla sock knitting, really.
Gorgeous.
So the yarn was left over from some socks I did last month. It's Storm Clouds and Rainbows by Vicky Brown.
Lovely.
And the toe and heel is a mini by Giddy Ant Yarns. Look, it is that bright. It's
so
really
stunning. Yeah.
bright. And I do have two. I've just only put one on the sock blocker, but
yeah, I really need to do that. I've got so many small bits of yarn
yarn
left over from socks. I should do short
kind of decided that I just don't want to knit vanilla socks anymore because I just end up with too many pairs of socks. I'd rather do ones that take a little bit more time.
And have quite.
But at the same time, I like to have some vanilla knitting on the needles for cinemas and what have you.
Yeah.
So those are quite good because you know, I do quite like to have a few pairs of sort of trainer type socks. So
yeah, that's a
quite
really good
handy,
idea.
Yeah.
So I have one more knitted finished object.
Oh, we can do these together, can't we?
We can. So I was doing my Land of Sweets cowl in the Duchess Mr. B's yarn with mohair silk. But I got so far up and thought actually it's quite thick being held double. And so I thought it would just be too much if it was a complete one. So this, as Michelle from the Naughty Knitwits calls her, is the snack size.
Snack size.
Snack size Land of
Fun
Sweets.
size.
Yeah. So it is beautiful. I did make a mistake
It's really
on the lace
pretty.
there. But
I made
hey,
mistakes in mine.
That is so pretty.
It's lovely to wear, isn't it?
So pretty, and it's lovely to wear.
I've seen you wearing that a few times.
Yeah, I've worn it a few times. I'm very happy with it.
So we said last time that Mum had been on a bit of a Land of
Yeah.
Sweets kick, so I bought hers to show you. So this one, she requested that Clare dye her up a set of blue mini skeins.
So I did.
So she did, being the good one. So Mum knit this one, and I can tell you for nothing that this one will have no mistakes in the lace because Mum is a perfectionist. And it's absolutely gorgeous.
She's really getting into her knitting now.
She
I
is.
love it.
And then
But
this
I'm
one,
chuffed with
this
the
one
colours.
is my absolute favourite.
She did add one more in because it needed 6 colours.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then this one, I love this one.
Oh,
so
it's
these are the
gorgeous.
minis that we bought for Mum at Unravel. She requested some minis from Unravel.
Skein Queen.
And they're Skein Queen. And they were actually singles minis.
That is so
So it's
soft.
so soft. It really makes me want to knit something in singles.
Perfect.
But look at those colours.
And she
It's
was wearing
gorgeous.
it
It goes
yesterday
really
with a
nicely.
jumper that was this colour, and
Yeah.
it just looks so.
It goes really
so
nicely with
pretty.
loads of things. So, well done, Mum.
Yeah, go
It's where we
Mum.
get the skills from, you see.
And she's whizzing away now on everything. She wants to knit everything and anything, doesn't she now?
She's
I love it. We've got her completely hooked. I'm
Right.
wearing my breathing space sweater today. I haven't showed that before. There we
Very
go.
nice.
It was Cascade Heritage Silk.
Yeah,
And
it's nice.
one I dyed up myself a long time ago.
Very nice.
Touching up.
Okay.
Um,
Nice one.
I don't have any more.
Okay. So my last one, I wanted to, well, I wanted to knit something DK because you gave me a skein of DK, didn't you? So at Unravel, I bought 2 other skeins of DK to go with it to make the Jodie shawl. I'll show you the picture first. So that is by Hohi.
All the labels fell out.
By Hohi Locatelli, the Jodie shawl, inspired by Jodie Brown from the Grocery Girls. And so I knitted it, and here it is. And it flew off the needles because it's DK. And it's got a fade. It's got a bit of a lace pattern, and I will admit, I went really wrong on the last couple of rows of lace, and I couldn't pull it back. So the last little section, it should be lace right to the edge, but I just did garter on the last bit because I just couldn't be doing with it. But it's lovely. It's a long, narrow crescent. But when I finished it, I had to admit I didn't really like it on me. The colours were nice, but it's not really my shape. I like a much deeper shawl with a lot more fabric. But
More mice
I
style.
had actually promised one of my colleagues, I'd given her an IOU for her birthday for something knitted because I promised I'd make her something and I hadn't got around to it. So I'm actually going to give her this, which I think she'll be really chuffed with.
So what are the colours?
So the colours are Frostbite by Stranded Dye Works.
Lovely.
Then the next one is Still Frozen
Oh,
by
they
Mr.
go
B.
together. Still Frozen and Frostbite.
Yeah, I know, perfect. And then this one,
I love
and
it.
it kind of goes. This one's Neptune, so it's on a water theme.
Oh, there you go. Frozen water.
From Ainsworth and Prynne,
it's
the
so
Knitting
soft.
Shed, which was just gorgeous. I think it's actually a single.
Let me see. BFL DK.
Doesn't say on there, but
No.
it felt like a single. It didn't feel plied. It was
100%
quite.
Blue Face Leicester. And it's really
And
soft.
what is lovely about it, you probably can't see very well, but
Yeah, it is a
the
single.
tones in that blue.
Oh, it is lovely. It's not just
Like
one colour.
in like 1 second you had teal, then you had navy. It was like
Oh, it smells
really,
nice.
really gorgeous.
Oh, smells good.
And then I had quite, I think I had 65, 70 grams left. And I thought, well, I don't use DK for any of my scrappy projects, so I wanted to use it up. So I then found the JoJo's hat pattern, which is actually by Jodie Brown, so it goes with the Jodie shawl. and I had to go at making that with the leftovers. So I had to sort of improvise the fade, and I didn't really, it was a bit tricky because I had a lot more of some colours than others.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But I was really happy with it. I thought it was really cute.
And that is so soft.
And it's really soft and gorgeous.
It
Lovely pattern. This hat took me 3 hours last Sunday night, just watching the telly.
I think that'd be too small for my head, but
yeah, I will say with that pattern, I've knit another one which I don't have with me because I've already given it to my friend for her birthday. This was a medium, and it fits me, but it's tight, and I do have a fairly big head, but it's not very spacious. The next one I knit, I did the large, and I put a 4-inch rib on it, so it had a nice big folded over brim. Jojo's hat pattern, I thoroughly recommend it. It's really lovely. Yeah. Mum's actually knitting one at the moment. I didn't put a bobble on this one because I thought actually it's more of a fitted,
a bit of more of a beanie
type. But on the more slouchy one, the pom pom looked lovely. Yeah. So I'm just really chuffed with that. I think it's a really nice little set and be a nice gift.
Oh, it's such a lovely gift for someone.
Oh, yeah, that's that one. That. So that's all the clothes. So have you got some whips?
I have. I got some whips. I had lots of whips, and they're probably left over from last time that I said I was doing. So I had a skein of the double knit as well.
Still frozen.
Still frozen.
That's why I ended up with one, wasn't it? Because you wanted one. And
I wanted one.
So
I did too. So I'm not going to show you the messy bit. I've really messed it up in one place. So I've got some 2-colour brioche.
Lovely bit of brioche. It looks lovely with that dark
blue. But I actually like this side best, I think.
It's really
pretty.
So
it's just a cowl. I'm just sat and I'm going round and round and round and round.
What's the pattern?
The pattern, I don't have it on me. It's something like the biker cowl. It was a free pattern.
Get John to put it on the screen.
Yeah, we will. I will give him the information. It looks kind of herringbone.
Yeah, I like that. It's obviously where you're knitting the brioche in the round.
Yeah.
It's not double-sided like brioche normally is.
No, then you get the standout inside. Really I guess as it folds over as well, you see both sides. I mean, I don't know how much longer it's going to get because actually I don't have a lot of this yarn left. This is West Yorkshire Spinners, just navy, and then Mr. B's still frozen, so that's good. I'm enjoying that.
Lovely. Cool. I do like a bit of brioche now. I got really into it with it.
Camera bag. I kind of based it on the field bag, but it's not perfect.
Right then. So my next one is in my biscuit bag.
I love that bag.
You're going to love this. Now we might have to start a new section of the podcast, I reckon, because we're going to be great aunts in the summer. We're very excited. I know we don't look old enough.
I know. Great aunt.
I think we're going to have like, I don't think Kerry watches, but we might have to have like a Kerry look away now section because there's going to be lots of baby things coming up. Even though she won't find out what it is, the two knitter aunties.
Even her mum wants her to find out what it is.
Oh. Anyway. So I had to make a bonbon bunny.
I love bonbon.
Which is by Susan Claudino, who is No Knit Sherlock, which I love that name.
I love it. It's awesome.
So I've made a start on it. I am using leftovers from my What the Fade. And because it's neutral, what I've done is I've chosen the rest of the Troublemaker. Oh, that's so gorgeous. And the rest of the Boudoir. So they're predominantly blue, and they have got bits of pink in, but I think they're kind of neon-y and
so nice together.
So I'm holding them double.
This one, I made a bonbon bunny for Freya, and I think it was DK.
I'm not sure now because this looks a lot bigger than Freya's. I think.
Okay.
But we'll see. So I've done the feet.
Oh
so
my
you
goodness.
do it in bits. So those are the feet, and the colours are working out
cute.
really nicely.
Oh, I love it.
Focus in. Closer. Here we go. Oh. So the colours are coming out really nicely. So I think it'll be fine for a boy or a girl.
I love it. And it's like really sturdy.
Yeah. I've done it quite firm because I like the way the legs and arms really dangle.
Yeah, and what you don't want is the stuffing poking through. So
the arms are teeny.
It needs to be bulletproof because it gets dragged along the floor.
Yeah. There's the arms.
So cute.
So I've not spent any more than maybe 2 hours on this so far, but I'm really looking forward to finishing.
I love the construction because then you knit everything together and you don't stitch it together, so it's not in pieces.
It's really clever.
Yeah.
But I'm quite enjoying holding it double. It's giving quite a nice dense fabric, so the fluff isn't poking out. I did when we met up with some friends last week. one of them gave me an idea to hold it with mohair as well, so it was a fluffy bunny. But I was a bit concerned. I felt like I would probably be unpicking it a lot, which I haven't actually so far. And I thought if I held mohair, it might be all a bit fused and a bit. But I think if it goes well, I might make another one with mohair because that would be really
I do wonder if, like, for a baby, whether the mohair might just get their nose or something a little bit.
Maybe more for one sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
But I just thought it'd cute. And I'm keeping all the bits in my Baramu bag.
Oh, it's cute. It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love making that. So, my next one, which I said last time I was going to start, and I did. And it's Starting Point.
Oh, yay. I think you did show it. I think you had the start of it on the last podcast.
Oh, I
I'm pretty sure.
My brain doesn't work very well.
I'm sure you did.
So this is my, one of the pieces.
Is that the back?
No, that'll be the back. So yeah, there's one piece. So I'm using some, Baramu Titus, grey, blue, Stranded Dye Works held double with mohair, and then some more Baramu.
Industrial Kingfisher.
Yeah, what did I say?
No,
right, Industrial Kingfisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got some Malabrigo sock in ochre.
I love that colour.
And it's coming together.
Really pretty.
This bit, now I'm on the chevron bit.
So you do each bit twice, don't you?
You do each section twice, and then you carry on. So
this one's a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's fine. It's actually getting to a point now where it's too long for the needle. Yeah. So then it's starting to do this sort of chevron kind of pointy thing. Yeah. And I'm not sure how that's going to go or what it's going to look like. So
lovely.
Yeah.
It's
really enjoyable to do.
I'm really tempted to do this pattern, but actually I've seen that how he is releasing the fading point soon. So I think that might be right up my street. I'm enjoying this because I'm using stash, and it's just, it's going to be out of the way. And I think that's a really wearable one. It's lovely.
Yeah, I really like it, and these are my colours, so.
Fab.
Yes, slowly. I haven't picked it up for a little while. I picked it up last night and did a bit on it. But
it's nice to pick up and put down, isn't it? And you can do that with Hohi patterns.
Yeah, and it says on there at one point 171 stitches. It won't get any bigger than this.
That's nice.
Goodness for that. Yeah, so that's good.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got more.
My next whip is almost an FO. I'm very close, and it's also stash and you'll see why I couldn't wait to cast this on.
I love it
so I've got one sock. It just needs a heel. Look at this.
It's awesome.
It is the big one from Fab Funky Fibres. So it's quite pricey because it's a 24 colour repeat. So from there to there is one repeat.
Oh, it's incredible.
But it was really special. It was, it was a treat, and it came in 250-gram skeins, so they're absolutely identical. This one I've just started the toe. Oh no, I'm all caught up in that. So I've just started the toe on the second one, and then I'll just pop heels in. I've got markers in there ready for the heels.
Stunning.
And it's just been so addictive. It's Hermione's Everyday, the pattern.
But it just looks so
cool
on there.
With a stripe, I just like to have a bit of a pattern.
That pattern has never appealed to me. I think I knit it once and I didn't like it. But it just looks.
See, I find it now because I've done it quite a few times. I find it just like a vanilla.
Like the pattern.
I don't have to think about the pattern.
But how they really sort of graduate.
Yeah, and then the toes and the heels are also a mini from Fab Funky Fibres, just a navy blue. I was debating what colour. It was hard to know. I thought I don't want black. I don't want white. But I thought actually navy blue, and the heel will go in there between those sort of two aqua stripes. So. Actually, the navy will look nice there, I think.
Progress keeper.
But isn't it just gorgeous?
It's the most gorgeous thing.
Isn't it just... Oh. And I think I've got enough left over to make Freya a pair of socks. Because I think she'll love
you've got to use all of that, every scrap.
I know.
Perfectly with your bag.
It does, my Sophie bag. Right then.
So I cheated myself as well. I know what you want to...
Oh, is this a whip?
Yeah. It's a whip. Had to be a whip. Although,
what is it with self-striping yarn? You just got to cast it on immediately.
I have left it up somewhere along the line. Yeah.
Twisted Limone.
I got one. Twisted Limone. One of a kind.
Pretty much every Saturday we text each other going, missed it? Or have you seen?
Horrendous. The times I've tried. So I've put a gap in for my heel ready so that I know how long to do the foot on it. Don't have to sort heel. But what happened, I put the needle in this side, needle in that side, and then I unpicked. And when I got along to one point, one of the stitches was looped with the stitch above.
Oh, no.
Completely looped. And so I've had to cut it. And somehow I've tried to sew it in, but I'm really worried it's just going to come apart. So this is going to take a bit of brain
if it does, you can always unpick it a bit further down and then make the heel a bit longer or something.
Make it a bit deeper. It's probably better anyway, but
there'll be a way you can fudge it.
Pretty.
That's gorgeous. So that one was the party bird stripe gone wrong.
Yeah, it was. Apparently the mauve was a little bit too dark, but
actually I like that. There's more contrast.
I love
Lovely.
it. Oh,
gorgeous.
Stunning.
Gorgeous. Right, this is a baby whip. I'm going to London for a few days next week, so I thought I better have some like car, train, I don't know, knitting on the go. So these are going to be the everlasting socks. These are from my friend who has size 12 feet. So they're going to take a while. I was in a rectangle already. So they are literally, I've just cast them on, 72 stitches. The yarn is the Commodore by Mr. B. So yeah, they're going to be a long-term project, but he's been like nagging me for socks for so long. And he was like, everybody else gets your knitted
He's got enormous feet. He has enormous feet.
I know, but he was like, but you like knitting, surely you don't mind whatever size they are. I was like, oh, okay.
So that bag.
So this bag, yeah, you've seen this one before.
Okay.
This is my hand-woven fabric that I did last year.
So I made you something to go with it.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know you had any of this left.
Yeah.
Oh.
I found it in my cupboard this morning. So, yeah.
You found it this morning?
Yeah.
You made it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're so quick.
Just a little pouch.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's padded.
Keep some things in it.
And these are kind of wider at the sides, so you've got...
Yeah, so it's like stands out.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Oh, I still love this fabric so much.
Yeah, it's all special.
That's like a year ago I did that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought I'd make you a cute little pouch to go with it.
Exciting.
Right.
So, any more whips?
I have got one more. Everyone thinks I'm mad because I'm making my doggy a jumper.
Oh my god, you're not. Your son will go mental. Wes will not be happy about it.
He will. He'll love it because it's going to have skull and crossbones on it. So at the moment I'm just knitting across.
Will she wear it?
Yeah.
Will she not just try and attack you when you put it on?
No, she'll be fine. So I've got three.
Oh, I've got little leg.
So it's got 4 balls of wool going across at the moment because you have to knit across this bit first, and there's the armhole, and then you have to knit across this bit, and then you
because she has arms. Yeah.
Let go.
Oh,
she's a person. She's just a furry person.
She is. She thinks she's a person.
So this was some Aldi yarn I bought really cheap.
Oh, I've got a set of that colour.
Acrylic.
It's so pretty.
So yeah, I'm knitting a jumper for my doggy, and then it will obviously sew together.
She will come
over her head.
She will come on the podcast and model it. Won't
she will.
She
when
tried to be
it's
on it
done.
today.
She did. She stole John's seat before we started.
So cute. Okay, I've got one more whip as well. Oh, we must have the same number today.
Yeah, I've got a sewing.
So, my Veronica has whizzed along. I took it away when we went away this week. So,
it's done loads. You have done loads.
So what I've done now is I've done all the even section across the back, which was like sort of the long slog.
Yeah.
And the rows aren't that long, are they? No. But it's just a bit.
It's the same. Yeah.
So now I'm just starting to decrease on the other side, so that it looks something like this side. Oh my goodness! Sorry, Claire. Just put it right in front of your face.
It's not a problem.
So yeah, cracking on. I've got this much yarn left, so whether I'll get it out of one ball or not, but I've got another one if I need it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's Veronica by Shannon Cook.
That's lovely.
So, yeah, excited to finish that one now. It'd be nice.
Cool.
Be able to wear it. Okay.
I've
got any stash?
I've got a finished object that
I
forgot to show. So I've made a new bag.
Nice.
So it's a neutral yarn print bag with a viscose linen bottom, and it's got a patterned lining around the top, some arrows.
Oh, yeah, that's really nice.
That's good. No, I didn't put a pocket in that one. Yeah, it's a really nice big drawstring bag with a flat bottom.
Nice.
So
it's like fluff in the air.
I didn't show that one, but I wanted to show this. So then they will make an appearance in the shop quite soon, but I've got some other ideas as well.
Lovely. So, stash.
stash.
I got quite a bit, I'm afraid.
Oh, you start then, because I don't have loads.
Once I had one funky fibre, I wanted another one, so I got this skein of Heather Meadow.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's really pretty.
Really
it's not
springy.
as many stripes, but I shall enjoy knitting that up.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I love it.
You want to do one?
Okay, well I just found Pamela Saurus Rex's destash. And she was giving me these lovely, lovely things. So they're by Fine Fish, SB Ida. And they arrived when I got back from holiday. So I'm excited to have those.
Gorgeous. Now, last week I spotted on Pixie Yarns, Sophie's thread, that she'd been hand painting this gorgeous yarn, Rainbow Riot.
It is lovely.
So I messaged her and I was like, I need a skein of that. So she really kindly did some for me on the with the navy base. And she did it especially for me, and she posted it out to me. Well, in the meantime, Claire actually managed to find out that Sophie was on holiday on Dartmoor.
Yeah, at the same time.
So we actually, very long story short, ended up meeting up with her and our good friend Sarah Youd in Tavistock for a little knitting
natter for 2
session.
hours.
And so basically I saw Sophie before I got home to my yarn, which was just hilarious. She was like, oh, I should have bought it with me.
And she was knitting on it herself.
And she was knitting it up, and it knits in a spiral, like the rainbow's in a spiral, so I'm so excited.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, look at that.
Really is
blue.
Gorgeous. I love how the colours sort of blend into each other.
Oh, it's just gorgeous, so I can't wait to cast that on. Thank you, Sophie.
It's gorgeous. And it was lovely to meet
Oh, it was so lovely. Then, on Monday, my car was in the garage. So I had to walk into Bath and kill a few hours in Bath, which was, devastating obviously. It was a really lovely day. It was the first day of the school holidays. But I wandered into Wool Bath, which is a lovely little knitting shop. It's sort of the nice end of commercial yarn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of Rowan and they have quite a lot of sock yarns and West Yorkshire spinners and all sorts. So I picked up 2 skeins of socks, because I just loved
That's lovely.
this
That
colour.
is lighter than the one I've got.
It's called Larimar.
It's lovely.
So they come in 50 gram skeins.
Really, really pretty.
And then, because everyone's been holding things double with merino. Not merino, with mohair at the moment. Yeah. I was like, I want to do something like that. So I got just 2 skeins, or 2 balls of Wendy Air in the cream. Nice. And I thought I'd hold that double and make some bed socks.
Oh, be so gorgeous.
I'm thinking the Rita pattern by Little Bobbins. But
that'd be lovely.
Get onto that at some point, so that's exciting.
Oh, lovely.
And then finally, on that same trip, I bought, and this is in my bag. We met up with our lovely friend Kate, and she gave us these really cute bags, which was cute.
And she gave us a mug as well.
Yeah, bless her.
I've named mine Paddy because we met on St. Patrick's Day.
So in mine, I've got these gorgeous, and I think I was feeling Eastery when I bought these. I want to make some sort of face cloth makeup remover things, because I'm really trying to be a bit more environmentally friendly at the moment, so I'm trying not to use any wet wipes. So I bought these. Look at these colours, they're like mini eggs.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
They're Rico Rumi.
They are.
So they're really soft. They're cotton, 100% cotton. They are designed for like amigurumi toys and that sort of thing. But they were 95p for 25 grams, which I thought was really good.
Well, they were more expensive.
Yeah, we saw them for £1.25, didn't we, in Tavistock?
Yeah.
What was just so appealing was they were in like a stand, all like in rainbow order, like hundreds of colours, and I was just like, oh my goodness, they're so cute. So yeah, I just picked up some of those, and I thought I'm gonna have a go at just knitting some kind of little face.
So it would just be
white.
Small.
I was thinking maybe even circles, like crochet, just like
so you can just take your makeup off.
Take makeup off.
Reuse them.
Chuck them in the washing machine.
I think I might have to do that as well.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and
I really like that idea.
Yeah.
So
and you've got some fabric stash.
Yeah. So this one, we're I really wanted some of this fabric for a long time. I actually wanted to make a dress or something from it, but I find it really difficult to get hold of. So all I have is about half a metre. So Sanderlings, Charlie Harper, Birch Fabrics, and this may be making an appearance in our Unsprung Yarn Club.
Which John will talk about later, isn't he?
And we were in Tavistock in the market, and we walked into a shop, and Becky went, I want a bag like that.
I was like, if you buy that fabric, I'll buy a bag.
So I bought this gorgeous fabric, and it's like upholstery weight. It's really,
it is.
It would be lovely sort of chair covers.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's really nice. So there's that one, and then this one as well goes with it. So they will become bags.
Yeah, lovely.
In the not too distant future, she says. I've got loads cut out, but I do really want to make them.
Oh, I've just got 2 final acquisitions that are not so much stash, but you've probably all seen these before. But I got some pins from our lovely friend Jules. So I got the her logo one, her So Sweet Violet logo,
And the bumble.
and then her new bumblebee, which is so cute. It's got glittery wings.
It is gorgeous.
So my pin collection's a bit pitiful up to Clare.
Wow.
You know, it's a start.
I can't stop going on Etsy. It's driving me mad. They're so gorgeous. Saw a punnet of strawberries this morning. Oh,
Cute.
I so want them.
Right.
So mine I had my fibre share parcel arrive.
Oh,
It was quite a while ago now, and I've been really good. I did eat all the chocolate and the biscuits. There was a lovely packet of gluten-free cookies and raspberry ruffles and Cadbury's mini eggs.
Raspberry
Cadbury's
ruffles.
mini cream eggs. They're my favourite thing in the whole wide world. So I did ration them, but they are all gone now. So I'll just show you what I got from my lovely swap partner. So she's in Ireland, so I've got some Studio Donegal yarn there, which is really nice. I thought I might make
It's
a nice...
quite chunky.
Yeah, it is.
190 metres or
So
so.
yeah,
Like an Aran.
Yeah, it's a bit heavier than the DK, but it's lovely. It's really beautiful. That sort of purple it's really quite vibrant. It's got lovely nets in it, so that's nice to have some Irish wool. And then this is one that she actually dyed up herself. This is her little company. And she said she dyed one for her and one for me, and so that we've got matching yarn, which is really lovely, sort of a denim-y sort of colour. And then
Loco.
I've never had any Loco before. I've had scraps, but I've not had one of my own. And so she sent me this lovely one of a kind.
It's gorgeous. Look at that blue.
It is absolutely beautiful. It's really soft. It's lovely.
So
So that was really exciting.
Oh, it's spun sock, so it's 80-10-10.
Oh, it is so lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. So then I had this gorgeous little tape measure in a box. So I can use it now.
That's cute,
Little
Foxy.
boxy. Yes, very
These
cute.
tape measures are really good.
Yeah, I've been dying to use it as well. Some Eucalan. And then this is...
Oh, this is hilarious.
It's incredible, really. So she sent me some fibre from one of my favourite companies. So I'm going to take it out of the bag. You can't see it. Cat and Sparrow UK. So Cat and Sparrow UK is my lovely friend Rachel. And
Who
she lives about...
approximately 3 minutes in that direction.
Yeah, she lives half a dozen streets away from me, just down the road, and has her own company. And this lovely lady ordered 2 skeins of fibre from her, had it sent to Northern Ireland and had it sent all the way back again. And it's by one of my best friends. And I just find that incredible. She
That's
did not
really
know.
funny.
She did not know that Rachel's my friend. And and I love this. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I've got some
These colours are lovely.
Polworth Shetland and silk, so this will be stunning to spin with. And then I've got another lovely one here with some really beautiful purples and sort of autumnal colours in. Really, really lovely. So that was just such a surprise.
How excited. I must sign up for a fibre share.
The best bit, well, it's all wonderful, but this is really, really
Aww.
cute. Look, I had a tiny little sock
Bunny
and
bag.
it's so cute. And this is made with love by Deborah Makes Crafts. So there's a label on the back.
You need to start using that today,
I
Mr.
am.
Bunnies.
I am going to start using it. Look at the hexagon. Oh, it's all going to fall off.
That's right, caught it.
Patchwork on there. Gorgeous little fabric.
Cute.
And then lovely little floral.
That would be a
fabric.
great chuck in your handbag.
Oh, it's perfect. And it's got a little
bag.
bunny with an
Oh,
Easter
Easter
egg.
egg.
This is so perfect. Bunny with an Easter egg. And it really is a one skein project back. It's so dinky.
Yeah, it's cute.
I love it. So
Lovely.
that was a really, really gorgeous fibre shell, and it's got a little clip
Ooh.
inside, so if I
Stitch markers and things.
stitch markers or keys, whatever. So cute. I love it. So that was my 5 share parcel, and it was really fun to receive that.
Ah,
Yeah.
lovely. So, I think it's John's turn now.
I think it might be. I think we might be done.
Hand over to Mr. B.
Yeah.
So it's over to me again, just for a short section. I'm going to talk you through some of the things that's been going on for us during March, some of the yarn that we've been dyeing up during the month, and some of the thoughts for the month ahead, and also just a small section on photography as well. So March has been a pretty busy month for all of us. I've got to say it's been quite a stressful month, a lot of highs and lows. It began with some snow days, and as a head teacher of a school, it's always pretty difficult to know whether the school can stay open or not. So I did end up sending a few members of staff home on the first day just to make sure they got home safely, and then we ended up with a snow day, the second day that it really hit around Bristol. It did mean I got a great opportunity to get out for just walking in the snow and enjoying some time with my snow dog Stella. Thought you might enjoy just a short video clip of her messing around in the snow, which is this one. And then after working the rest of the day, it did mean that that was a pretty difficult way of us starting March. So long days getting in early to clear the paths of snow to make sure the school was open. Not the best way for us to start the month, but there you go, the kids really enjoyed it anyway. The month then carried on with the budget hitting schools, and the way funding is for schools in the UK at the moment is pretty difficult, so just added to the stress of the job. And then we finished off the term with the call from Ofsted. Now that's never an easy time, but it is something we've been waiting for quite a while, and I just got to say it was a good day, things went well, and looking forward to the final report from that. But during the day itself, it did lead me to think about and start reading again a book that I've enjoyed that I would recommend to you. It's this one. It's called The Art of Being Brilliant, and it's by 2 authors called Andy Cope and Andy Whitaker. If I read you the blurb at the back, it just talks about some common sense principles to transform your life. So being brilliant, successful and happy isn't about changing who you are, it's about finding out what works for you and doing more of it. Having heard the guy talk about as one of the keynote speakers a few years ago, I always remember him saying about the link between the way we feel physically and the way that we feel mentally as well, and the encouragement to actually get up and kind of seize the day to look for the opportunity to make the most out of everything that we get. He talks about going into work, making sure that you wear your best pants so that you go in feeling up for it and ready for the day. And I'd go one beyond that when it came to the Ofsted inspection, because I think there's a lot to be said for hand-dyed socks. I certainly found it was a deliberate choice to put those socks on and make sure that during the day I was reminded of something bigger than just my job, because just feeling those socks on your feet reminds you that actually there's more to life than the job that you do or the title that you have. Reminded me of Clare knitting the socks for me, and it's just a good way of giving you a bit of perspective, I think, through all of that. So that was Ofsted. We got through that and came to the end of term. What I would do is actually read you another great story from this book as well. At the very beginning, he starts off with a guy called Jimmy and his diary, and there's a load of case studies in this book. It's not an answer to everything. It's quite a light-hearted book with a lot of theory behind it, but it's just a really good thing to provoke some thought and help us not be just destination focused, thinking about I can only be happy if and when something happens, such as when you get to the next weekend or when you get to the next holiday, and to make the most of every day that we've got. So he speaks about this guy Jimmy keeping a diary, and he says that he opened his business journal and read some of the entries. As an old man looking back, there were notes from meetings, often very detailed. Every single day had been crammed with business appointments, sometimes the evenings too, and remember back to those times. He sure was driven in his career. It was for the love of his family that he'd chased success so hard. The old man was drawn to an entry much shorter than the rest. In his own neat handwriting were these words: "Wasted a whole day fishing with Jimmy, didn't catch a thing." With a deep sigh and shaking hand, he took Jimmy's journal, his son's, and found the young boy's entry of the same day, 4th of June. Large scrawling letters pressed deep into the paper read, "Went fishing with my dad, best day of my life." So I guess if you want a good book, light-hearted read, but something that just encourages us to find a way of being the best we can be, then I'd recommend The Art of Being Brilliant. After the Ofsted, after a very stressful time in March, we were also waiting to find out if Dan was successful with applying for a job, and he will be moving over to Cardiff pretty soon, so everything changes for us after getting a job in a design studio over in Cardiff. So congrats to Dan, really proud, really pleased with how you did with that, so well done. We then came through to the Easter holidays. Just had a great week away down on Dartmoor. It really is one of our special places. But just before I tell you a bit about that, I thought it'd be good to look back over some of the yarn that we've been dyeing up over this month. During the month of March, it's really been all about different colour combinations. The end of February was really good for us, and I started finding what I thought was just the perfect grey I was looking for. So that led to 3 colour combinations that sold really well. That was Stella Bella and Just Rust and Rust Bucket, and the 3 of them together really did make a really good neutral colour combination. From there we started thinking a little bit about one of the bags that Clare was making, and this fantastic bag, a beautiful tweed, is the last one of its kind in the shop, but did inspire me to think around the kind of country set idea and started looking at pheasants and the colours that came up in there. So Pheasantly Surprised was born from that one. Sold out in the shop at the moment, but very happy to dye up some more. So if you're interested in Pheasantly Surprised, the image is on the screen. If you'd like to me to dye up some more, then just private message me for that one. After that, we started thinking about Easter that is now upon us and was fast approaching at the beginning of March. So came up with 2 colour combinations. First of all, this colourway is a beautiful pastely colourway called Egg Hunt. And as you can see, we've got pinks and mint greens, pale blues on a variegated base, and then speckled with the same kind of colours, and just tiny little pops of black, blue, pink, greens as well. So that's Egg Hunt, just 1 or 2 of those left in the shop at the moment. And the second Easter colourway was based on that favourite grey of mine, with just some accent colours like the reds and the pinks to celebrate the Easter resurrection theme. So Resurrection was the next yarn that came out of that. No plans for any more of those to be created, but maybe we'll return to it again next Easter. After that one, deliberately started thinking about a set of 3 colours that would really fit well together to make a really good combo. And for that, went back to the experience of being in the Brecons, because you might remember that last month Claire and I took just a few days over in the Brecon Beacons, bit of a break from it all. We had one day when she ended up sat in the car knitting, and then in the midst of a blizzard I chose to walk up the Sugarloaf Mountain. So Sugarloaf was the yarn set, the first of its set, the first set of its kind that I came up with, and ended up with 3 colourways. So the first one was Snowfall, and Snowfall was this kind of colourway, a really pale base, light blue base with then pops of greens, browns, golds and blacks on that one. After that came Sugarloaf, and Sugarloaf was started with the grey base and then had loads of speckles on it, so heavily speckled with a twilight grey, a blue, a navy, a brown and an Aztec gold as well. So really nice colour combinations there for Sugarloaf. And finally, the darkest one in the set was the Summit. And this was a much darker base, so a variegated base with greys, navy and browns. And then it was speckled with the same kind of colours with some silver grey, Aztec gold thrown into that as well. And putting the 3 of them together was the first kind of set of its kind that I was really thrilled with. So unfortunately, those also sold out in the shop at the moment, but plans to return to that set pretty soon. So do look out on Instagram and also look out on Etsy for when the set comes back again, because those sold out really quickly. After coming up with those sets, there was still some other colourways I wanted to work on, and this one, well, it kind of named itself because I was working on this one at the same time that we had the call from Ofsted, so I just thought it really had to be called an Inspector Calls. And you can see with this one, nice sort of dark navies, golds again, browns, teals, blues and speckles of the same colour. So this one, this beautiful yarn, is called an Inspector Calls. Again, just a few of this yarn left in the shop at the moment. Now while I was doing up those colourways, Claire's also been busy. So she came up with this one, beautiful subtle yarn which is called Bosco Cheesecake, and you can see the tonal berry tones within this. Some reds, some darker berry tones, burgundy, and your purples. Really beautiful, subtle, rich colourway here. This is Bosco Cheesecake. Okay. And the last one before we went on holiday, which actually goes really well with an Inspector Calls. If we put those two together, look at that. Not intentional this time, but while I was working on Inspector Calls, Claire was working on Who's a Pretty Boy Then. You can see the kind of budgerigar colours of this with the navy blue, turquoise, greens, a really vibrant green and a yellow within there as well. So a fun light base with bright vibrant speckles over the top. This is Who's a Pretty Boy Then. And that is about it before we went on holiday. So then over the last month, after having got through an Ofsted inspection, hopefully having seen the last of our snow days, we took off to Dartmoor, which is a really special place for us. We've got loads of memories down there. It is a place where you need to be prepared for all weathers, and we really did see almost kind of 4 seasons in one day on almost every day that we were down there. So staying in a van, we walked loads, clocking up more than 40 miles, most of those being just myself, Stella, my dog and my camera. And as I was away, I did think about a few things. Spent one morning walking with my niece's husband, and he had loads of questions to ask about what makes a really good photograph. So I thought it'd be a good idea to just drop in 1 or 2 top tips, because anybody can take a great photograph, even if you're just using your phone, if you just follow a few kind of simple tips and principles. So the first one is this. If I show you a couple of landscape shots that were taken while we were away, the first tip I was talking to him about was actually something called lead-in lines. Now anybody can take a shot which is a snapshot of something they've experienced, a place they've been to, but if you really want something with a bit of drama, with something that draws your eye into the picture, then lead-in lines is a really good technique for that. It's all about looking for something in the scene. So it might be a fence, it might be a footpath, it might be simply a collection of stones. It can be anything like that. It's just a pattern that draws you into the picture, almost gives you a line to lead you into the picture and give you a sense of perspective. So if you look again at these couple of images that I put up on the screen, if you have a look at them, see if you can see the kind of objects that are used as lead-in lines to just draw your eye into and through the picture. And it just helps make, instead of just a flat scene, something which has got a bit more drama, something which has got clear perspective, and it draws the viewer's eye right into your picture. So first top tip is look out for lead-in lines. They are all around you, and it's just about choosing your viewpoint, choosing how high or how low you are to actually draw your eye into the image itself. Okay. Next month we'll see if we can come up with another top tip for you, just to help you with your own photography and your own images as well. And the last thing to tell you about really is to share some of my other passions. So while we were away last week, I did pick up the sketchbook again. Having a few hours to kill while we were waiting to find out about how Dana got on with his interview, I went back to drawing again, and haven't done this for such a long time. I just really enjoyed getting out colouring pencils and working for a few hours on this image. I have enjoyed that. I do love it, love the way it's come out, and I am thinking, well, maybe this is something I should pick up again. So a typical scene of Dartmoor there, as the rain comes down and the colours and everything just fade away into the mist. Lovely time, great week away. Hopefully it's a place that if you haven't been to, you get a chance to visit at some time, because it really is stunning. Somewhere where, as I put on my Instagram feed, I often feel very small, and it gives me a sense of perspective that when everything else is going on around me and life just feels so much, you realise actually I'm just part of a much bigger world than just the small things that I experience on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I think that's about it for me. Talked a bit about March, shown you some of the things that are going on and some of the dyeing we've been doing to date. Plans for the month ahead is actually we're going to be doing some dyeing for the new yarn club that we've started up, which we'll tell you about in just a moment. And as well as that, coming back to exploring a few more tonal yarns, especially those based on the grey base, and seeing if we can also come up with another set, because the last set of 3 yarns seemed to work so well. So that's the plan for the month ahead. Okay, so that's about it for this month's podcast. Hope you've enjoyed March's episode. We've still got 1 week left of the Easter holidays, so I think you're hoping to get a bit of knitting in.
Yeah, a little bit if we fit it in around Cardiff and finding somewhere for our son to live.
Yeah. And also you'll have seen on Instagram that we've got a new exciting yarn club starting. So if you want to take part in the Birdbox in the Bird Street UK Unsprung Yarn Club, that takes place during April, May and June. It's on the theme about British wildlife during the springtime, and we got some great ideas for some Mr. B's yarn plus some other goodies to go in as part of that yarn club. So do look on our Etsy shop and sign up for that. You've got just a couple of days if you want to join in with the April one. If you want to join in May, then you can sign up by the 3rd of each of those months. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Is that about us for now?
I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay,
We'll have a
well,
lie down.
enjoy the rest of the Easter holidays. Happy Easter to all of you, and we will see you again in May. Bye bye.
We're so podcastery, we now drink from empty mugs.
Yeah.
Empty Emma Bridgewater mugs. I feel like every time we do this there are more lights.
Yeah, right. Is that enough? We got that one if we need it.
Do you know what? As long as they
Podcast
can't
like
see
have a chat.
Yeah.
as long as they can't see my wrinkles.
What do you get?
All of your legs collapsed. Go away.
Oh my god! Stay there! Stay there! Yeah, come and lift Beki out. No, you're not looking on it either. Don't wait to get about, you'll drop some more light bulbs.
Right, you. Go away. Yeah, you're on dog duty.
You're in the doghouse.
You've got a pair of socks on her so she don't